Fuck you, I'm smarter, bitch.
I can't believe you're gonna rig this game.
We don't want to feel dumb anymore.
I feel so stupid right now.
We're here to find out if we're actually dumb. Don't ask us any questions.
Two bumbling morons. Fuck you, I'm smarter.
Welcome to Fuck You, I'm Smarter, the comedy game show where we compete with a guest to be crowned the smartest person in the room.
And on the Zoom.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Dizzy. How do you usually celebrate Memorial Day, Lindsay? What's your go-to Memorial Day vibe?
Look, I'm always down for a beach situation.
Sure.
I feel like mostly I probably work on Memorial Day because
Okay.
I'm like a freelance person that just does that. But if I had a Memorial Day off, which I might this year, I mean, it is Memorial Day, so I'm working.
It's Memorial Day for our listeners who are listening the day that this comes out.
Yes.
But
I probably would like to go to a beach.
okay. Everyone else and their mother's going to the beach.
For whoever just joined us on the YouTube live,
Hi.
please write something in the live chat so we know who you are and what's happening.
Tell us who you are or just compliment us.
And for those listening on the pod, we are doing this live on our YouTube. Fuck You, I'm Smarter. And you can always join us. We usually... Hello. Who's Rose?
Rose F.
Death.
Ooh,
Hi.
Do we know you?
I don't know. Do we know them?
I don't know.
Well, join us on our YouTube live. We always put it on our Instagram, on our stories right before we do it. You kind of have to catch us, but hopefully we'll have some sort of
Regular schedule?
yeah, right? We need to have a regular schedule so our listeners can like shoot the shit with us. Don't you think?
Sure. I don't know. I'm so against schedules that it's hard for me
but
it's hard for me to have the drive to really commit to that. But if more of our fans are interested,
Yeah, we got to do it for our fan,
Rose
F.
Death, would you like to know when these are happening and actually watch?
I think Rose
Live?
F. Death would.
Maybe. Well, they're here now. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you all listeners for being here.
We hope you have a beautiful Memorial Day, and that's our show.
So this show's actually not about Memorial Day because
No,
as we sat
forgot
down,
it was Memorial Day.
Oh, thank you, Rose F. Death. Would love to know about the YouTube lives and join. That's wonderful. Good to know we have a fan. We have
Thank
one.
you, Rose F. Death. I'm trying to
Our
make
one true
this
fan.
a steady thing, and Callie doesn't want to do it.
I'm
so
just resistant to
you're just
change.
helping me
resistant,
show
I'm
her.
resistant to structure. Cool. So, when we sat down to start recording, we realized quickly that our show that we had prepared for today, our pop quiz, has nothing to do with Memorial Day, but we wanted to give it a shout out up top, and then we'll dive into all the bullshit that you're used to on this show that is maybe not very topical.
Before we dive into the bullshit of our show, can you
Yes.
turn the lights on?
Oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah.
We're about to get so much prettier.
Fuck you, I'm smarter.
So my quiz is just like my last pop quiz that we did. One of our guests
was
bailed on us.
Oh, right.
And
life
it was for
circumstances.
legitimate reasons,
Yes,
but
she's
she
lovely.
last minute could not do the show.
Right.
And I wrote a really funny quiz for us. So I wanted to like bring her home. I wanted to show her, lay her to rest.
Our guest?
No, the game.
Oh, okay.
The game. I wanted to
I
wanted
wanted to
this
kill
game to
the
rest.
guest who bailed on our show, and I wanted to give her
And
her justice.
My
her due
game
justice.
is like geography, and it's about female comics.
Oh, I love that.
What's your game about?
Rare disorders.
Let's start with mine. It sounds a little more fun. Jesus Christmas.
I like the weird.
I like a rare disorder.
I do. I love it. I like medical curiosities. I love all of that kind of stuff.
All right.
I probably worked in a circus in a past life, or was a really bad doctor who
you think
took
you were
advantage
like an
of people.
old-timey doctor?
An oldie-timey snake oil peddler. Yeah, I bet I was.
Wow. Interesting. I don't think they had female doctors in those days.
You think in all of my past lives I was female?
I
You think that's how it works? It's like you're assigned
Actually,
one gender at
nah.
your soul's conception.
Now that I'm looking at you, I think you were many things.
Thank you.
I think you were many things in many shapes, sizes, forms, blood types,
Thank
all the
you.
things.
Okay, good.
So our guest that couldn't do the show for legitimate reasons has a podcast. And this game was 6 degrees of that podcast where I took some of her guests from her
This
podcast.
is Lindsey recycling content that she didn't get to use. And instead of doing more work, she's pretending.
No, I think this is a fun game. I'm like, I'm not going to let this game die.
6 degrees of our guest who didn't show up.
6 degrees of our guests who didn't show up's podcast guests.
Are we gonna shout out her podcast then? Since
No,
why?
because I just made it look like she bailed on us and it was terrible.
It's funny. We could still give her a plug.
All right, we'll give her a butt plug. It was Helen Hong who couldn't do our show for legitimate reasons because her sister's having a baby and she's raising the baby with her sister.
Helen Hong is amazing. She's
Incredible.
an amazing comic. She's and an actress. She's in all these commercials
I
and
know.
shows, and she's everywhere.
So she has
She's
a
fucking
really,
great.
really fun game show podcast called Go Fact Yourself.
Okay.
So I took some of the guests from Go Fact Yourself because that's a really fun show. And I wrote 6 degrees of Go Fact Yourself.
Okay.
Now that you made me talk about
Well,
it.
why not give her the butt plug, you know?
I'll give her the butt plug.
Yeah.
So, like we said, Go Fact Yourself is a trivia podcast show with celebrity contestants hosted by J. Keith Van Stratton and ours truly, who is not here today, Helen Hong.
She even kept the intro of the game.
Yeah, I'm keeping it as I would have 2 weeks ago when I wrote this. The heart of the show is a quiz about a topic the guest has chosen for him or herself. So
It's sort of like our show, except we don't
We
let the
choose.
guest choose.
Yes.
We tell them what we're going to be
Yes.
talking about, and we make them feel embarrassed and stupid.
and then they have an expert come on the topic,
Love
and
that.
they incorporate the expert as well.
That, ladies and gentlemen,
Is what we're missing.
it's just a really great concept for a podcast.
Yeah,
with
so
two hilarious people.
They'll do a game. They'll be like, I want my game to be on Star Wars because I know everything about Star Wars. So they'll quiz that guest, and then they'll have like an actor from Star Wars come on and tell them if they got the answers right.
Oh,
or
I
wrong.
love that.
It's
That's
very
cool.
cute.
Yeah.
All right, so Kelly, number 1.
Yes, Lindsay.
Let's start with everyone's favorite sketch comedy star, Rachel Dratch.
Yes.
Love
her.
Rachel.
She, just thinking about her face
I know.
and just thinking about her makes me laugh.
Debbie Downer.
She's
Incredible. Rachel,
No
did you
words.
read her book? She's a book, and it's
No.
great. I'll try to find it. Rachel Susan Dratch is an American actress, comedian, and writer born and raised in Lexington, Massachusetts. Lexington, Massachusetts is well known as the site of the first shots of the American Revolutionary War in the Battle of Lexington on April 19th, 1775. The British, led by
the British are coming. It's Memorial Day.
right. So this fits.
yeah.
This is the time. I meant to do this.
Of course.
The British, led by Lieutenant Colonel Francis Smith, were called Redcoats because they wore redcoats uniforms. The American soldiers were called A, Devil Dogs, B, Minutemen, or C, Mustangs. And Rose of Death, if you want to guess, you can totally guess.
I'm gonna say, Rose F. F, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's B, Minutemen.
That is correct.
Because it's the only one I've ever heard of before.
That is correct.
Is that because
Do you want to know about them?
they drank too much whiskey and they couldn't please the ladies?
Well, no. If they drank too much whiskey, they wouldn't be able to get it up.
That's what I'm saying. They
No,
did it for like a minute.
They come really fast.
Oh.
They wouldn't be able to do it at all if they couldn't get it up. I mean, I
Got
guess
it.
you could kind of stuff it in there, but I mean, we've all been there. Minutemen
Cabbage.
were a small, hand-picked Elise force, which were required to be highly mobile and able to assemble quickly.
I imagine
What?
them being small.
Yeah, they're tiny.
They're small. It was all these small men.
Like a small piece of fruit.
or like the Oompa Loompas but with guns.
Oh,
And less face paint.
that
probably.
feels threatening. Minutemen were selected from militia muster rolls by their commanding officers. They were typically 25 years of age or younger, and they were chosen.
Well, everyone was that at that time.
They were chosen for their enthusiasm, reliability, and their physical strength.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Get on it, boys!
Come on, boys."
Move, you."
Although it's more like, "Come on." Wait, no, wait. How's the British accent go?
No, these were the Americans.
I know, but they were still British, basically.
Oh, did they have like?
Well, they were. Yeah, I mean, it was the 1700s. They were British, and they were trying to become Americans. Revolutionary War. They're still British colonies.
Do you think that they like, in order to keep their new American ways, they
created new accents on purpose?
We speak like this now, right?
Yes.
That's where the American accent came from.
That's where the Appalachian.
So if
accent
someone
came,
like if a British person came and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or, "Excuse me,
oh,
what
excuse
are you
me,
doing
what
over
are
there?"
you doing?
And then
Excuse
it's like,
me, what are you doing over there?
I don't. And then the guy's like, "I don't talk like that. What do you mean?" And that's how the American accent came out.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with just people being like isolated from the home country and the
Right.
accent naturally changing over time.
No, what is that? What is evolution? That's crazy.
No.
All right, number 2, Maria Bamford.
Yay.
I know.
What's the connection again between
it's
all these?
podcast guests
These are
on Go
guests.
Fact Yourself.
Who was the first guest?
Really? It was Rachel
Oh,
Dratch.
Rachel Dratch. Right.
Maria
My brain is
Bamford.
not really working today.
Just try to be here with me for 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. My brain is in the dishwasher.
I see. It's being washed.
It is. It's being cleansed.
Do you remember when we saw Maria Bamford at that little bar?
No.
Oh, great. Okay, number 2. Maria Bamford is a brilliant American actress and stand-up comedian, and she is well known for her comedy involving jokes about depression and anxiety. Bamford stated in an interview with the Salt Lake Tribune that she had been diagnosed as OCD and that she had bipolar II disorder, or, as she called it, the new gladiator sandal.
I don't get it. But I don't get half the things she says, but I still love it.
I think she's saying like gladiator sandals are really trendy. So like bipolar is now maybe like a trendy thing. Like she's bipolar.
She said that when gladiator sandals were trendy. Got it.
I think they're coming back actually.
I'm fine with it. I enjoyed them.
Yeah. Salt Lake City was founded on July 24th, 1847 by a group of Mormon pioneers.
For sure.
Let's talk about the Mormons.
I thought you'd never ask.
This popular book series is based on Mormon beliefs.
Whoa.
Is it A, the Twilight series, B, the Divergent trilogy, or C, the Chronicles of Narnia?
No. Chronicles of Narnia, definitely not.
Is it the Divergent trilogy or the Twilight series?
I've never heard of the Divergent trilogy.
It was a movie. They made the Divergent movies with I forget the girl's name. She's in Big Little Lies, the younger one. Shailene
Woodward.
Whatever.
Right?
Yeah, Shailene something.
Shia
Yep.
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Woodward.
She's in them. I never saw them.
I'm going to go with that one.
No, that's incorrect.
Oh, it's Twilight?
It's Twilight.
Oh, God damn it. Rose F. Death, why didn't you save me on that? Come on.
Come on. The Twilight series by Mormon
But if you know the answer.
Mormon author Stephanie Myers
I didn't
is
realize
an
she was
allegory
Mormon.
for the Mormon concept of celestial marriage, the belief that a couple is sealed in the Mormon temple. They will stay bound together forever in the afterlife.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm. Edward and Bella's bond is sealed when Edward bites Bella. As with a Mormon marriage, there's no turning back for Bella, who is transformed into a vampire for eternity.
Now, I want to be a vampire.
Well, so maybe you need to be a Mormon.
No.
No?
Sorry, I don't watch the Sparkly Vampires Fair.
We understand. We don't watch the
I didn't
Sparkly
see it. I didn't
Vampires
see it
either.
or read it.
Yeah.
Because it seemed very, yeah. Sparkly Vampires.
You don't need it. All right. Well, that's that, though. Okay, number
Great.
3.
Moving on.
Atsuko.
Yay!
Atsuko, we met in New York for the incubator labs that we were doing for Big Vision Empty Wallets.
That is correct.
She is an incredible comedian. She's the creator and host of Let's Go Atsuko, a woke Japanese game show. She's
great. She's
great.
Her grandma the dances she does with her grandmother.
Unbelievable.
On Instagram, probably TikTok too, because all the kids are doing that as well. We need to get back on TikTok. Just a quick aside.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, that's my passion. Your passion is having a set schedule.
Yeah.
My passion is making amazing TikTok
when
videos.
we have our business meeting after this, we'll talk about TikTok.
Okay.
So, Atsuko was born in Taiwan, and she spent her childhood in Japan until she moved to the United States when she was 10 years old with her mother and grandmother, and they lived undocumented for 7 years. Okay, let's talk about Japan's government.
Great. I know so much about it. It's my secret hobby.
Japan has a constitutional monarchy headed by an emperor. Kelly. Can you tell me what is the difference between an emperor and a king?
Emperor is in charge of not just the country, but like the outlying areas or places they've conquered, quote unquote, like other territories.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm smart.
Also, while the title
it's
of
probably
king,
like a 6th grade question, but
well, I didn't know
less.
it. While the title of king is primarily political, the title of emperor often makes one the head of the religion too. So sometimes
didn't
it's
really
also
get it
tied to
right.
religion. Well, you did say it's like about the region that it occupies. Like it's bigger than maybe just a country, or it's like bigger than that. But also
there's a religious component.
There's a religious component. So while a king rules one fairly homogenous territory like a nation or a kingdom, emperors often wield power over fairly
heteronormative.
Okay, if that's homogenous, heterogeneous territory, ruler of many nations. Persians are usually assumed to have originated the term king of kings. Shah.
Move on.
Okay, number 4. Let's talk about, what was that word? Heterogeneous?
We assume we're saying that right.
Heterogeneous.
Touch my heterogeneous zones.
All right, number 4, Margaret Cho, baby.
Yes, love her.
Margaret Cho, man. She's another one.
She's a force, and she was like a pioneer.
Margaret Cho is an American actress, musician, stand-up comedian, fashion designer. She's an author. She's best known for her stand-up where she critiques social and political problems about race, sexuality. She was the OG of, really in the Asian culture too.
For sure.
She was born in 1968 into a Korean family in San Francisco. Don't feel bad. I can't speak today. You can't think, and I can't speak.
Okay.
I'm going to use my mouth more.
We are going to enunciate our words today.
Chose. I just said Cho. Her name is Margaret Cho.
Oh, I thought you were saying I
thought
you were saying chose.
Forget it. I can't think now either. Cho was born in 1968 into a Korean family in San Francisco, California.
I said that already.
Her grandfather was a Christian minister who ran an orphanage in Seoul during the Korean War.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
Wow.
Let's talk about South Korea. Which one of these facts is not true?
Not true.
About South Korea.
Okay.
Not
true.
A. South Korea has the fastest average internet connection in the world.
That's probably true.
B. Seoul is the breakdancing capital of the world. C. The most crowded flight path on Earth is found in South Korea. D. You can gamble inside the Seoul Incheon Airport at the Paradise Golden Gate Casino.
I bet that's true because I've been to that airport and it is like a small city. You can do anything there.
Yeah.
That's where I got my period in my underwear and I couldn't find underpants pants because the everything was closed because it was like the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then I bought
Men's.
boys briefs. I was also sweating profusely and had been up for like 48 hours.
That sounds great.
And I had to buy clothes because I had sweat through my clothes and I got my period. So I got back to the airport to catch my flight. And I had to buy a whole new outfit, I bought boxers. It was a whole nightmare situation.
Yeah,
because
sounds
like
really
to get your
hot.
period in your boxers.
Yeah.
like there's not. It's
It's a
it's
whole
not,
other, it's not easy to
holding it.
maneuver.
there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then I got to my gate and there was a fucking Victoria's Secret open. And I
Get-
could have gone and bought some really lacy little panties.
Wow. What a story.
But well, it was significant for me. It's okay.
It
It's
sounds
not-
significant. I mean, you were walking around Seoul and fucking
sweating
men's
from
underwear.
it was insane. But
Yeah.
as I'm walking around looking for the underwear store,
Yeah.
I saw literally every other thing that you could possibly want or need. Like that
Right.
place is massive. So that being said, my answer is B.
B was, it's the breakdancing capital
No,
of the
C.
world. C is the most crowded flight path on
I'm just
Earth.
gonna
as
say
far
it's
as-
not. Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Damn
It's
it.
actually the Golden Gate Casino. There is a casino outside of the airport, but you have to take a shuttle to get there. But
Well-
I'm really glad we got the story out of it.
You know, I bled there for nothing.
She bled there. You heard it here first, kids. She bled there for nothing.
Are we ready?
I'm ready for weird
go to
abnormal. What is it?
Yeah,
Ailments?
we're going to science class.
Great.
This is a new segment that I'm going to start doing for our pop quizzes that I'm going to call Kelly's Curiosity Corner.
Great.
And we're talking about some of my favorite rare syndromes today. Okay,
I know you
so-
love a rare syndrome.
I really do. So I can show you what. Just don't look at the answers.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna tell you what the syndrome is, and you're gonna tell me I'm gonna tell you what it's called. You're gonna tell me what it is.
Okay.
It's a
That's-
multiple choice.
Okay, that sounds
All right.
good.
The first one, number 1, Lindsay. This syndrome is called Stendhall Syndrome. Stendhall Syndrome. So this syndrome is named after a 19th century French author who experienced the symptoms during a trip to Florence in 1817.
Okay.
Stendhal Syndrome may also be called hyperculturemia or Florence Syndrome. The symptoms, I'm going to tell you what the symptoms are.
Okay.
Physical and emotional anxiety, as well as panic attacks, dissociative experiences, confusion, and hallucinations.
Okay.
Those are the symptoms. Okay.
Okay.
These symptoms are usually triggered by what? Now, this was named after the 19th century French author who experienced the symptoms during a trip to Florence in 1817.
Okay.
So the symptoms are triggered by A, panzanella or any other salad that involves bread, B, Italian architecture, or C, art that is perceived as particularly beautiful.
Oh, I think it's B or C.
I mean, I love panzanella, but if I didn't know what it tasted like, I would be like, why are you putting bread in salad? Like, that's not a crouton, but it's actually great.
Right. Art and
So it's either Italian architecture or
architecture art.
art. Or
Okay.
art, yeah.
Florence is such an art place. Did you do that to throw me off? Like
I don't
know.
it's hard to tell whether I was super overthinking it or super underthinking it. You know what I mean?
Is it architecture?
No, it's actually
art?
art. So it's art that is perceived as particularly beautiful, triggers these people, or when the individual is exposed to large quantities of art that are
Wow.
concentrated in a single place, such as a museum or a gallery.
And
it
it's
just
called
sends them off the
Panzanella
edge.
disease.
It's called warm bread disease. It's called soggy Stendhal syndrome.
Stendhal.
Stendhal.
Wow. I went to Florence.
Yeah, I've never been to Italy.
And I saw I think the David.
The statue of
David is there, I think.
Statue?
There were so many people there. It was like, all right,
Well, it's like when I saw the
let's
Mona
go
Lisa.
have a glass of wine.
Yeah, it's like super far away. You can get close to it, and like there's a million people there, and you're like, cool, there it is.
Right. It was.
I mean,
yeah.
it's cool.
It's the same kind of thing, though.
Yeah. Woo! Number 2.
Yes.
Apotemnophilia. Apotemnophilia. Apotemnophilia or apotemnophilia.
Okay.
Though not much is known about it, including how to pronounce it, this disorder is believed to be neurological. It might be related to the right parietal lobe damage in the brain.
Okay.
To right parietal lobe damage in the brain. The condition is challenging to treat because people experiencing it often do not seek treatment. However, both cognitive behavioral therapy and aversion therapies can be attempted in order to treat apotemnophilia once treatment is sought.
Okay.
Also known as body integrity identity disorder, apotemnophilia is characterized by the overwhelming desire to A, amputate healthy parts of the body, B, eat parts of their own body, or C, plug their fingers into various parts of their body.
Okay. What was the thing you said right before?
Body
integrity
identity disorder.
Body integrity identity disorder. Eat it?
No, it's amputate it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Didn't write it down.
That's so weird. I mean, sorry if there's any listeners that have it, but it's unusual. I mean, the game is called Unusual Things.
Let me look. I
Like,
thought I wrote down why.
You want to?
They do it, or they try to damage themselves so
feel
that they
like
have
I
to have it
wasn't
amputated.
supposed to have this arm.
Right.
This arm
I'll
does
tell you
not
right.
match my integrity as a human.
Right.
So we're going to cut it off? That's crazy. I mean, they're not crazy, but it's wild.
Yeah. No, it's not telling me why.
It doesn't tell you why. I think it's like they're like, I don't like this ear, and this is not the ear that I feel like is my ear.
It's not my ear.
So just cut off my ear.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have it, so I can't say for sure.
I know. I really don't know. Well, they think it's related to some kind of brain damage, possibly.
It sounds a little connected to like OCD too.
It says OCD.
Does it?
Give yourself a point, even though we're not actually doing points for our pop quiz. Although we should fucking do points for pop quiz.
Yeah, it sounds very OCD adjacent.
Yeah.
You know, like if
It's
something doesn't
OCD
look how you
adjacent.
think in your head,
Right.
it's supposed to look.
Yeah. Okay. We can, do your own research on that. If you want to learn more.
Yes, please. Don't look at any videos though.
No.
I'm sure you
No,
don't
I don't
want to
see I don't want to see any home amputations. Thank you.
No.
Lindsay, number 3.
Yes.
Alien hand syndrome.
Ooh, I love an alien and I love a hand.
Hey, gotta love a hand. This syndrome may occur in individuals who have damage to the corpus callosum that connects the two hemispheres of the brain.
Yes, I've heard.
Did
of
you know
this.
that?
I mean,
That's
I've
how
heard
they
of the
talk.
Corpus Christi.
Corpus
Yeah.
Christi, Texas?
Yeah.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Corpus callosum. Other causes could include stroke and damage to the parietal lobe. Again, parietal lobe. This syndrome, alien hand syndrome, is characterized by what belief? Lindsay, A, that their hand was implanted by an alien microchip between the thumb and index finger. B, that their hand was switched at birth with another baby's hand, like the baby hand version of the movie Face Off.
Wow.
Or C, their hand does not belong to them and has a will of its own.
I would love for A and B to be real things.
Me too.
Like so bad,
Especially
right?
switching a baby's hand.
I like the alien hand too.
Microchip, yeah.
But I think it's C.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Individuals experiencing alien hand syndrome have normal sensation but feel their hand is autonomous with a will of its own. So they have like one hand that's their hand and one hand that's like, this is not my hand.
Well, I've talked about this on the show, but one movie that stopped me like I stopped watching scary movies for the rest of my life was about this. There was like a guy who needed a new arm or something. He had like an arm transplant. And the arm was a serial killer's arm, so then it killed everybody. And I forget what the name of the movie was, but I never watched another scary movie again.
How old were you when you saw that?
It was like, I did see the Scream movies. I know you did last summer, but like actual like scary movies, I was probably like 8 or 9, and that was the end of it.
That's pretty young. Like that's like if you get super scared at that age, like, it's understandable.
It was the end.
I just like dug in, and I was like.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me. Alien Hand.
Alien Hand.
Love it.
Alien Hand. Number 4. Capgras syndrome. Capgras. Another Frenchie. This syndrome is named for Joseph Capgras or Capgras. I don't do French pronunciation at all. A French psychiatrist who explored the illusion of doubles. Those with Capgras syndrome hold what delusional belief? A, that someone in their life, usually a spouse, close friend, or family member, has been replaced by an imposter. B, that their doppelganger is somewhere out in the world, someone who looks exactly like them, and they need to find the doppelganger and kill them before they are found and killed by their doppelganger.
Whoa.
Like, they can only be one of them, but they have this like other person out there who's like, or C, that their reflection in the mirror is a real life double of them living in a mirrored dimension of our world.
Whoa. Oh my God. C?
No.
What is it?
That is incorrect, but it kind of the premise of Us. You didn't see Us.
No.
Yeah. It's A. That someone in their life is an imposter.
Wow.
Like, you're not really Lindsey. It happens a lot with people who are schizophrenic and things like that.
Or also like Alzheimer's and dementia that happens.
Yeah, it says, okay, so it occurs in patients with schizophrenia, dementia, epilepsy, and after traumatic brain injury.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like you
Like,
like
you're
live
not
with
really
someone your whole life and then they look you one day and they're like, you're not
You're
Kelly.
not you. Yeah.
Like I bet you start to believe it almost. Am I not me? Am I not? Wait a minute. Am I not me?
Is that what you would think?
Am I not me? Wait. And then I'd be like hitting myself.
And then you'd be like, that's not even my hand. Me? I also have alien hand syndrome, and I think I need to amputate it.
And then I'll talk to my dog like, Oliver, am I me? Am I me? You know.
This is a glimpse into Lindsey's
My
future of this. That's the downward spiral. That's when that starts to happen. Mm-hmm. Number 5, Alice in Wonderland syndrome, also known as Todd syndrome. I think he was probably the doctor who discovered it or whatever. Also known as
named after a dude.
Right? Isn't everything
So annoying.
Alice in Wonderland syndrome, or AIWS, is a neurologic condition in which the most prevalent symptom is A, a fear that everything they eat or drink contains hallucinogens. B, altered body image. Patients are confused about the size and shape of parts of their body. Or C, the overwhelming fear that they are being followed by a sinister white rabbit.
Oh, I think it's A or B. What was A again? Their body
Fear,
parts are different.
B, altered body image. Patients are confused about the size and shapes of parts of their bodies. Or A is they think everything has hallucinations.
You think it's B, Rose of Death?
Rose of
That's
Death.
what I was thinking too. You know what? I'm gonna go with my ally here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with B.
That is correct.
Yes, we got it right.
Woo!
Woo woo!
All right, that's my game.
Yay!
Kelly's Curiosity Corner.
I love it, Kelly's Curiosity Corner. Say that 3 times fast.
There's gonna be lots of babies in jars.
Can you say that 3 times
No.
fast? Oh, okay. Well, listen. To our listeners who came on to the YouTube Live, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us for this Memorial Day.
Please make sure you're
That's when this
following
will
us
come
at Kelly and Lindsey. So you know when we're going to be on, so you get the memo. Please feel free to reach out to us if you played today. This was super fun.
Yeah. Email us at
FYISmarter@gmail.com.
follow us at
Kelly and Lindsey
on
Instagram.
Woo.
We love you. Have a safe Memorial Day. Don't drink and drive. And we'll see you next week.
Eat your hallucinogens, kids.
Bye.
Bye. Safely.
Bye, guys. Thanks for
Thanks for
joining
being
us.
here.
See you soon.
Fuck you, I'm smarter.